Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. First of all, guys, I will be, this video is a temporary video. It's not going to be up here forever, okay? I might leave it up, who knows? But I'm just doing a live version of it. I'm going to be doing I'm not finished writing it. I'm not. I want to do it a little longer, but just a short kind of, just something I wrote. So something I wrote about this fight, and you know, it just organically came up, and I'm like, you know what? It's been a while since I've written. Writing has always been a passion of mine, you know, and it's one of these days. I don't know when, but you know, I wanna write a book, and you know, not about my life. That shit's boring, but you know, I just have a passion for it. But gonna read some right now, and then we'll hit the chat and we'll talk or whatever. But wait for a couple more people to come on, right? And maybe you could share your thoughts, right? Maybe you could share your thoughts. And now, preferably, once the finished product comes out, which I'm planning maybe by the weekend, I mean, look, man, I don't know anything about editing, and I can't. It's like there's things in my head that I'm like, man, if I could do that shit, like, it would be awesome. But I can't. You know what I mean? My shit's gonna be with pictures and shit. Like, you know, that's it. You know, but if anyone wants to take it and edit it with video shit, and I'm not even joking when I say this, I'll pay you to do it. Okay. So you could IM me, you could send me an email, whatever. Email at DStyleBoxing@gmail.com, or you could also send me a private message here on YouTube. All right. Okay. So I'm just waiting for a couple more people to come on. Okay. Feel free to leave comments in the chat, guys. And then we'll do a little bit of chatting after this. If you're listening on archive, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free. Now, a lot of this I've already said, but I haven't quite written down. So we're gonna do a live version of it. Okay. We're gonna do this shit live. We're gonna do it live. All right. Well, first of all, a couple of things. Do you guys hear about Dana White? Like, he came out and people are like, see, Dana confirmed it. Dana confirmed it. I'm like, what do you mean Dana confirmed? Well, what did he confirm? He said it was a one-sided fight, the sparring. I'm just like, well, what do you guys think Dana's going to say? Like, you know, of course Dana's going to say that. Like, you know, like what else is he going to say? He's not going to say it was competitive. Get the hell out of here, right? He ain't going to say that. Dana ain't going to say that, right? Well, this thing kind of, it just came along, man, like this this religion science thing, you know. I kind of just fell in my lap, really, you know, that this kind of, if you want to call it a metaphor, it just kind of fell in my lap, you know, the more I thought about it, because the way the science of boxing, you know, because to a degree that's what it is, right? You know, if you know, not absolute or anything, but the nickname of it is the sweet science, and there's a science behind it. You know, that's what we always say. You know, and that is being called into question here. It's being called into question. It's when you listen to every argument that's being presented, you know, the ones that sound the most appealing are the ones that say boxing's stuck in its ways, and boxing doesn't know, you know, they're just taught to do box a certain way, so your sparring partners box a certain way, and you all agree that when you throw left hand, the elbow's here, and when you counter with a hook, this is how you counter, this is how you jab, and when you jab, this is how you parry, and if a fighter misses, you could only do X, Y, and Z. Don't try anything else. It's always like this. That's basically, they're calling into question, all right, the amount of time that it took to really master. Me personally, I consider boxing practically a finished product. I honestly, I consider it that. you know. And I remember I talked to Haplotype on one of my hangouts once, and I kind of agree with him. I think it hit like a pinnacle around the 80s, but and I'm not saying there's never room to improve it, but it's very small room for it because so much of it, yes, of course, it's been refined, you know, but so much of it, you know, there's just so much to the amount of times that boxing has literally experimented on itself. You know, it's from sparrings, from professional fights, from amateur fights, from this size gloves, that size gloves, with headgear, no headgear, exhibitions. I mean, you could just go on and on, you know. So it's just an interesting dynamic here, and I just thought to myself, like, this is what it is, you know. Every argument I hear for Conor is, I remember just scratching my head and be like, well, these guys, it's everything is, well, you don't understand this guy this guy that. You don't understand this guy this guy that. No, Conor, you know, he envisions things and they just happen. And, oh, people said that. Oh, he's already been here before. Everybody said he couldn't beat Aldo, and look at what he did in 13 seconds. And it just becomes this wheel of just constant, you know, it's the circular reasoning that they have, you know, and it's just constant and it doesn't stop, you know, and they're just saying that we're the ones stuck on our ways, and I think it's coming from a very, you know, when you hear these things, right? Like, I don't know why. Like, I saw Matt Serra the other day, or I heard him on YouTube. I don't know why he's going to win, but I just have a feeling he's going to do it. I can't even explain why. Right? It's just this. It's kind of like an erratic kind of, like they can't explain it, but they just feel it. They just believe it. You know, some of them, you know, give you a bullshit like, oh yeah, when he hits him, he's gonna go down. They try, you know, but when you tell them, well, Conor does this wrong, he does that wrong. No. But see, that's what the problem is. You know, Conor, the way he throws the left, you guys see it and you say, oh, he's overextending, but you don't understand that that's a lethal weapon. And Conor, he doesn't use his feet like a boxer does. So what you believe is overextending, to Conor, it really isn't overextending. And it's like a, you can't talk about this fight in a scientific manner with people. You know, that's how I'm looking at the fight. I'm looking at the fight from a very scientific, because that's how I always seen fight. That's how I always judge a fight and call a fight, from a scientific manner. You know, when people, you know, and I look at it from, what does this guy do? What's his repertoire? Okay, what, you know, how do you do against this opponent? Next, you know, this fight, it has a lot of X factors. You know, it has a lot of X factors, and you know, people bring up the age and they bring up, you know, the layoff by Mayweather, and you know, okay, those are valid points, but ultimately, that's as much as traditional as it gets to bringing up, like the age and the size. Like when you try to talk someone who believes Conor's going to win, right? You know, if you just tell them, well, look, I mean, Mayweather Ritter gets hit or whatever it is you say, it's always the same thing. No, but those are boxers he was doing that against. He was doing that with guys who grew up with boxing. You know, Conor's going to come out he's coming at it from an outside perspective. And they're saying things like he's not going to box Floyd. He's going to fight Floyd. Even Dana's saying that. It's unbelievable, right? No, just waiting for a couple more people, and I'll go ahead and read that thing. I'm just kind of setting it up for you guys. You know, I feel like this is like I'm in 6th grade and I'm about to read a fucking essay in front of the class. Okay, that's how I feel right now. But you guys get what I mean? You know, it's like I've embraced the event for what it is, but I'm going to be honest with you. I can't wait till it's over, because it's like I'm embracing it, I'm accepting it, I'm talking about it, but I can't wait till it's over, man, because we got to put this shit to rest already, right? He's got to put it to rest. You know, and you know, let me tell you what, like, why religion? Why street science? Look, this has nothing to do with anybody's personal beliefs. Okay, that's not what this is. What I'm saying is that we are expected to, like, we're trying to talk about natural, the natural, right? We're trying to. That's how we're trying to break this fight down in the boxing world, and try to explain to people, right? But then they bring up, oh no, but Conor's not the natural; he's a supernatural. So you can't judge Conor the way you judge natural things and the natural order. You know, he's coming from a unnatural order. Like, it's just this, like, and it's what I mean about this, like, circular, like, reasoning. And then when you question that, and it's just, and if it's not one thing, it's the other, and it's like this constant thing. And you know what I say? I say, you know what? I mean, I'm not going to convince him. If I haven't convinced anybody by now to say, okay, Floyd's going to win, like, if they're set in their ways and they think Conor McGregor's going to win, by now, like, it's too late. Like, the only way that they're going to know is until August 26th. In fact, I don't even think some of them are going to accept it when it happens. Okay, I think the vast majority will. Like, they'll move on. Like, all right, well, I guess he couldn't beat him, right? But there's going to be some that are just going to be in flat-out denial, right? It's going to go from, oh, you don't understand. It's going to come from this and from that, and unorthodox to, they're going to go from that to, oh, but I don't know. They're going to blame the ref. They're going to say that, you know, that the fight was bought off. I mean, Conor didn't look like his usual self. You know, he had Floyd open several times. He didn't throw the left, so why didn't he throw it? Now, there's going to be a lot of, you know, people that are just not going to accept what happened. Okay? Like, they're just not going to accept it. They're just not. All right, I'm going to give it about 2 more minutes, guys, and then I'll go ahead and read this thing. All right, so I say, you know what? That's what's going on here. Like, then fuck it. Let's embrace it. Because that's what this is. And that's, for the longest time, I couldn't even pinpoint what's making this fucking fight so fascinating. I know it's a fucking mismatch. Like, I know Floyd's going to win. And I've always hated fights where I knew the winner. Like, you know, like, it's that doesn't interest me. But what interests me is for the first time, really, is the audience, the spectators, the people, you know. And how is, I've always been fascinated with human behavior. I always have, okay? And when I see, all right, what's going to happen on the 26th, all right, I can't wait to see how that, you know, perhaps the change of behavior is going to occur on people, you know, when it dawns on them. It's kind of like no amount of science and no amount of reasoning is going to convince someone who's been convinced by their preacher that the world's going to end on Sunday. You know, so they got to give up all their belongings and their life savings, and because all that doesn't mean anything, because the second coming of Jesus is coming. You know, it's, you could sit those people down and tell them, look, there's no proof of this. You know, it's the world's not going to end. Like, there's no evidence that it's going to end. Like, you're not going to convince them with that. They're set in their ways. When did they realize it? When? They realize it when that Sunday comes and it's, you know, and nothing happened that day. And then they realize that they gave up their whole life savings because they believed in this preacher that sold them, you know, this idea that the end of the world is coming. See, that's where a lot of these individuals believing that Conor's going to win are. Like, they are in that state of mind right now where they believe something's going to happen, and it's not going to happen, but they're set in their ways, and there's no way to convince them otherwise, right? You know, and no, this is not to that degree. I mean, this is only a fucking combat sport. I get that. I get that aspect of it, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting poetic with it. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with DStyle getting poetic with it. It just isn't, right? You know, so it is not so much poetic, but just saying, right? We need to, in a way, embrace what's going on here, right? I know. Oh, they're casuals or this or that. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. If this fight never happened, you would have millions of people, millions, tens of millions, probably more, walking around believing that Conor McGregor would beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a boxing match. Now, to you, you may say, well, I don't give a fuck what they think. And I kind of do. I really do. I think truth matters. I think revealing people the truth is extremely important. Okay? I really do. You know, and I don't mind experimentation. Shit, if Conor wins and I'm proven wrong, then there's a lot I'm going to have to reanalyze, right? And so are you, like whoever's watching this. You're going to have to reanalyze a lot of things. A lot of the things we thought were true, no. Is it going to be the rapture, right? But I don't think it's going to happen. Not even close. But we're talking about what ifs here. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just embrace this shit. Let's embrace it. So I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. Drum roll, please. Drum roll. Right, where's this shit at? Let me open some real quick. I wrote this shit on my phone, okay, with swipe. So I just want to make sure it's all readable things here. I don't want to be like, oh, shit, that was a typo and this, that, and the third. Let's see here. I was doing this show while I was working, too. All right. Thanks for you guys that did the thumbs up here. Rider Chef 62 says, you've been grinding, homie. I salute you. Thanks, bro. They're an alibi. Had to deal with some McGregor fans today on Twitter. AJ10 says, I have no heart. I have not heard. I feel it. I can't explain it, but it will happen so much on fight breakdowns. AJ10 says. So let me go ahead and go over this real quick, guys. Right? All right. So I got it here. 3, 2, 1. I didn't ask for this fight. I simply just exist in the eye of the hurricane that is the event, just like everybody else. Those who admit it and those that don't. I just choose to accept the reality of its existence. A major portion of the human population believe Conor McGregor can win this fight. They believe it. They believe it religiously. They say that he can envision the outcome of a fight before it happens and turns it into reality. They say his self-belief is powerful, unreal, unimaginable. They say it's nothing like we've ever seen before, like nothing we can understand. They say we don't understand. They speak of magic. They speak of the impossible. They speak of miracles. You can't doubt a man like that, they say. He's been here before, they say. They just believe he's going to do it because he said it. His destiny has written it. They want to question the sweet science, an art form that has conducted millions of scientific experiments. They want to bring that into question. I don't believe that religion and science mix. They have their hypothesis. They have their belief. August 26, We will test that belief against empirical evidence. I don't want to believe. I don't want millions of bodies walking around aimlessly believing in fairy tales. Either they're delusional or we're fools that have been playing pretend for over a century. You decide. Well, that's the finished product. Well, not the finished product, I'm sorry. Right? That's not the finished product, but it's almost there. Okay. In fact, in reading now, like I could tweak that. I could tweak, there's some things there. But okay. And you already clowning the whole thing. He did not know, so I think the losses he took. But it's, to me, this is how the fight is, man. Okay, that to me is the selling point of this fight. That is the, to me in a way, right? That is what makes the fight fascinating. It's not the fight itself. Like ding ding, the show's over. Once ding ding, it's over, the show. It's everything that is occurring, right now. That is what makes it fascinating, And I honestly don't believe in our lifetime we will ever witness something like this. Like it's in that way, it's unique. In that way, it's the stars have aligned perfectly for this event to happen. Like it's like I'm telling you, never again will this many people believe this much in a person that literally has no shot to win. Okay, I honestly believe that, and this is a whole, like there is something in the air. Okay, there's something there. And either they see something I don't, okay, or I've been wasting my fucking time, okay, understanding the sport of boxing. It's one or the other. At the end of the day, that's what this fight's about. It doesn't scare me, but that could frighten some people, and that's what makes it interesting to me. Right, that the idea that, and some people, I still believe there's boxing fans right now, with their head in the sand, stuck in this boxing bubble, that still don't get it. They don't get it. Like they just don't get it. What is it that you don't get? What is it that you need here? What is it? What part of what I'm saying doesn't make sense? I'm not saying it's worth $100. I'm not saying, it's going to be the fight of the year. It's the most anticipated fight. What I'm saying is that this boxing fight, it's masquerading as a boxing fight, but it's something else entirely. Right? That's what it is. You see, this isn't like two scientists debating a scientific theory, which is usually what boxing is. You have two trainers with different philosophies, and it's certain trainers like guys on their toes, certain trainers like guys that aren't on their toes as much. Certain trainers like you to have this approach, that approach. It's always like a battle of the sciences here. This is different. This is another source coming, right? But the only difference is that in this case, right, we're going to test it. Like the bullshit could be put to rest immediately, right? Like when a creationist debates a scientist on evolution, right? It's people could sit there and be like, I don't know, I don't care. But there's no way to really just put it to rest. In this case there is, and it's August 26th. You know, that's where we just put the shit to rest. And that's it, right? Somebody asks, do I ever sleep? I mean, what do you mean? See, I'll sleep when I'm dead, man. I'll sleep when I'm dead, right? No, I sleep 8 hours a day every day. I sleep, well, anywhere from 6 to 8. It's rare I do the full 8, but I can never really. It's rare, but 6 to 7 hours, I'd say I sleep every day. I mean, I don't know that people are interested in that, but just Mejia says, "What's up, D-Style? What's up, bro?" Little Rider says, "It's a battle of different arts, and we're going to find out who paints the better picture." Yes, we are, right? Do I think? Let's explore the possibility of Conor McGregor winning this fight. Right? Let's explore it. Do I believe that the sport's going to die like all of a sudden? No, right? I don't. But is it going to have a negative impact on the sport? Yes, of course it is. Of course it's going to have a negative impact on the sport. No, come on. It's going to make Floyd look bad, not the sport. Really? You guys really believe that? I mean, it will work itself out eventually, Like enough MMA dudes to start jumping over, thinking they could do it too, and then they start getting knocked out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to work itself out eventually. But all I'm saying is that it's going to hurt the sport in many ways, right? Number one, how legitimate is a sport if one of your best athletes can't beat a dude from another sport? Okay, that you have to take that into consideration. Now we can't ignore that. We can't ignore that reality, right? We just can't. No, but there's no buts here, right? There's no buts. No, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to win, but Floyd's got to win, right? He's got to win this fight. He's got to win it. It's just the way it is. And if he doesn't win, then, we got to start, maybe the dudes that say dumb shit like, oh, nobody cares about great fighters. They only care about great fights. Maybe they won't care, apparently, because they don't think great fighters matter. Only great fights, sure. Well, I don't know about that, like it's, are you sure about that? I guess we're going to test out your theory if that happens, right? I don't see why kids are going to go to boxing gyms if a freaking mixed martial artist beat a boxer at his own game. Well, I could just go to MMA and I could learn boxing on the side and be even better than boxers. That's going to be the perception. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Of course it is. Logically speaking, why would you train boxing when you could train MMA and become better than a boxer at boxing? For what reason? Come on, think logically. Logically speaking. And that is a reality that a lot of boxing fans just don't want to explore. That if they think it's a 1% chance Conor McGregor wins, they're terrified of it, right? You guys are terrified to just fucking address the elephant in the fucking room. I ain't sweating. I don't give a shit. Right? My life personally, it's not going to be personally impacted, regardless of what happens in this fight. But, boxing is a passion of mine that I've been watching my whole life. And I'm very confident in the art, and I'm very confident in the fighters and in the craft. I've always appreciated the sweet science. I have gone out of my way to understand it. A lot of you guys haven't. Okay? That's why a lot of the simplistic ways you guys see fights is one of the reasons some of you You know, while you're saying things like, well, Connor's 0-0, he can't win this fight, you know, and you're hiding your fear with, you know, with this notion that you don't care about this fight, and yet you show up to every video that talks about this fight. Yet you click, yeah, you go on YouTube and you click on videos of people talking about this fight. Yeah, sure, you may come on here and be like, well, DStyle, why are you talking about this fight? When are you going to talk some real boxing? You know, all that real boxing you guys are talking about, okay? Doesn't matter to me? Of course it does, right? But you guys are missing the point. You're missing the ultimate point here, right? In a normal sport, a guy would have to earn the shot at this opportunity, okay? That's the way it would have to have been, right? Like Conor McGregor would have to fight, you know, X, Y, and Z to even dream about getting to a certain point. You got to earn that, you know. You don't get to play for, you know, in the Super Bowl, you know, unless you actually, you know, get a winning record in win your division or whatever in the playoff. I mean, in the regular season, and win a couple games in the playoffs, and then get to the Super Bowl. All right. In any other sport, you have to kind of earn this spot. Conor McGregor has been able to bypass all that just due to his popularity, right? He's been able to bypass all that. And he's given that whatever percent shot you want to give him to really damage the sport. And whether it's subconsciously or whatnot, a lot of you guys, I don't even know why you guys are fucking sweating it, man. You guys are fucking sweating it. I ain't sweating it. This shit's great to me. I love this shit, right? I'm going to be on here 26. It's going to be a glorious day. Because when you actually know the science, okay, when you actually understand, like, you know, like when a lot of, because this is, you know, let's sit you guys down. A lot of you boxing fans, you need to sit down, okay? Like, sit your asses down. You remember when DStyle would tell you guys, hey, you know, we gotta, these fighters, man, like, what's up with the jabs and shit? Like, why aren't they jabbing? Like, well, why aren't they, you know, why are they getting tired after 6-7 rounds? Like, what the fuck's going on over here? You know, it's why is boxing evolving this way? You know, it's, you know, what's going on over here? You know, when fighters are holding, right? Whenever there's holding in the fight, you know, before fighters knew how to fight off of a hold and fight in the clinch, and, you know, they became craftsmen at that. And there's still fighters like that today, right? But what were a lot of boxing fans doing? Oh, no, you can't hold like that. That's cheating. Oh, no, don't do that. They should, after 2 holds, they should take away a point. Like, just stupid shit like that, right? I mean, you just wanted to give fighters passes. Right? When a fighter can't, you know, cut off the ring against another fighter, right? And instead of saying, hey, that guy needs to work on cutting off the fucking ring, what do? You know, instead, you know, you bash the guy that's winning, okay, and that was using lateral movement and was sticking and moving. You'll rather bash that dude than the guy that needs to up his game and become a better boxer. You guys would rather attack the guy that's losing, that's unable to cut off the ring. So you guys, for the longest time, have been contributing to dumbing down the sweet science. You have been contributing to dumb notions like, oh no, people don't care about great fighters. They care about great fights. In other words, just stand there and just trade like rock'em sock'em robots. So who gives a fuck about skill and, you know, learning the fundamentals and all that? Who cares about all that? Who the fuck cares about that? I mean, you keep going that route, yeah. In 10, 20 years, MMA fighters will start beating our fighters' asses. If that's the way if that's the route we go. All right? You want to keep going that route, it's going to fucking happen. Now, thankfully, he's not fighting a fucking Frankenstein, okay, come August 26th. He's not fighting one of your guys. If Conor McGregor was fighting one of the dudes that some of you boxing fans love and shit, you know, I would probably still favor that guy, but I would be a little nervous, all right? I would. It was fighting a dude that's easy to hit. Yeah, I'd be a little nervous. Yeah. But that didn't happen August 26th. So let the great fighter get it done. Okay, move the fuck out of the way. Okay, you want to watch your exciting fight? Then watch fucking Cotto versus Kamagai. Go watch that. Okay, go watch it with 4 other people. Okay, go watch that shit. Well, anyway. Maybe now you understand why being a good fighter and why skill and great stamina and movement and cutting off the ring and, you know, sticking and moving and lateral movement and the jab and, you know, counter punching. And maybe now you understand why hitting and not getting hit. Hopefully now you fucking understand why it's fucking important. No, but DStyle. You don't understand DStyle. DStyle, but please. I want to watch my Gotti versus Ward's DStyle. Then watch him. Then watch him. We need great fighters, right? That's what we need. We need to have, all right, a high standard for the fucking athletes in boxing. A high standard, right? Could you imagine in basketball it wasn't about skill and it was just about making games exciting? Hey, just go out there and just make it exciting for the fans. Would basketball players get better? No, they wouldn't. Exciting basketball games happen with drama, okay? Drama, that's what brings people in. Intrigue, the unknown. That's what brings people in. You guys have had it wrong for the longest time. How many times I've seen a Floyd Mayweather fight, and all the same dudes that call him boring and all this shit, okay? Well, when Shane Mosley hit that fucking right hand on him, they fucking popped out of that fucking sofa, okay? They got a fucking orgasm the moment that shit happened. They've never been so fucking happy in their life, right? I don't see them pop up the sofa like that when just another dude gets hit, right? You guys don't understand what intrigue is. The intrigue in McGregor Mayweather isn't about it being competitive, or it's not going to be competitive, right? But it's not about, oh, man, this is going to be a great fight. People aren't even talking about that. It's about who's going to win. Who's going to win? Can he actually pull it off? Can that guy win? Because winning and losing matters in sports, okay? It matters. Winning and losing matters, all right? No, but DStyle, don't give me your butts. It matters. Now, but sometimes when you lose, you win. Like, no. When you lose, motherfuckers, okay? When you lose, all right? When you lose, you fucking lose. That's it. No, but sometimes when you, all that romanticization bullshit, it ain't true, right? It just isn't. Here's the reality, all right? In 20 years, the UFC is going to have like 20, 30 Conor McGregors, okay, with that type of hands, right? So either we get fucking better as a sport, okay, or, you know, we keep dumbing down the sport, you know. We keep, saying dumb shit like, I think fighters should be willing to just, put it on the line and just trade. Put on a show for the fans. This ain't about putting on a show. It's about working on the craft. It's about improving the craft. These fighters got one fucking job. One. They got one job. That's one fucking job. To be the best fist fighters in the world. One fucking job. That's it. If you can't do that one job, then we don't need this fucking sport. No, but what about all the exciting fights? Maybe DStyle, they'll stop being skilled. But when they're less skilled, they're more exciting, DStyle. Right. I guess tough man competitions are exciting, but, are they, it's, have we really dropped down this bad? And in case you haven't noticed, a lot of that fan base in boxing is the same fan base putting their fucking head in the sand, sweating this fucking fight. Okay? That's what it is. Some of them are also saying stupid shit like, oh, if Conor wins, it's going to make shit more interesting. Because Floyd's boring. The Conor's exciting. It's going to make it better. Ah, you fucking idiot. Okay? Are you stupid? Are you really going to just pull your pants down like that? And just let them do you like that with no fucking lube and shit? Are you guys really going to just do that? Are you fucking that dumb? Right? Get the fuck out of here. Right? No, but these are no buts. Are you dumb? You claim you love boxing, but you're hoping McGregor wins? How dumb is that? Are you guys stupid? This guy doesn't even respect the sport. This is a pit stop to him. He think he can stop by. Hey, look at me, guys. I'm just going to, don't mind me. I'm just going to beat, one of your best fighters ever, and I'm just going to go back to the MMA. His trainers are saying that, oh, yeah, well, we hope that we just go back to MMA. That's our passion, but, we wanted to do this, easy money. That's how they're describing this, right? So for you, I know a lot of you Pacquiao fans are bitter. I know you guys are bitter, right? But are you that bitter? Are you that bitter? Like, really? Because if so, you're fucking bitter, man. You guys are fucking, you're still fucking, walking around. And a lot of them are like, oh, this isn't a real fight, man. This is bullshit. It's not even a real fight. It's not even what you guys are talking about this. let's just talk about all the real fights. This isn't even a real fight. At some point, that shit's getting old. Okay, and a lot of you, I know you peep these videos. I know you're listening. Okay, don't even sweat it. Okay, I know. There's 30 people watching. Only 5 people, on the chat, or 10 people in the chat. I know 20 years is lurking around, just listening. I know it's at least a good percentage of them are you guys. I know it is. I know it is. I know you guys are listening. I know you are. And I know you are. Who do you think you're fooling? But don't sweat it, guys. Don't sweat it. The ones that understand the sweet science, we got this. Okay? Like, don't worry about it. Well, don't sweat it. Floyd's not going to lose, right? Don't sweat it. It's all good, right? I just hope that after this fight, that you guys maybe start appreciating skill and, a lot of things that you guys call boring. I hope you guys start appreciating those things a little more, because those things are what makes the sport legitimate, okay? I mean, would basketball be more exciting if I don't know, maybe basketball is a bad example, but would football be more exciting if, if quarterbacks are getting sacked more because they weren't throwing the ball, fast enough, or would tennis be more exciting if dudes were missing tennis balls and falling on the floor? Probably. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it would be better. Okay. Like this is taking like a dude from another sport and put him in there with Nadal in the fucking tennis court, right? That's what this is. But in other sports, they actually understand skill. They actually, and a good portion of boxing fans, for whatever reason, like there's nothing wrong. Like I love brawls, okay? I love those gutless fucking brawls and dudes just fucking each other up. That's great. That's part of boxing, okay? But maybe now you're going to start to embrace this just a little more. Just a little bit, okay? I'm just saying. Right? Maybe now you're going to understand the importance of, the best fighting the best, because when the best fight the best, okay, they get better. Okay, they up their game. You got to pick up their game. When fighters are tested more, when you have a fight different dudes and they defend the title against the number one contender more often, and they unify titles, they get better. Okay, Usain Bolt, never broke the fucking record in practice, right? He always broke records when he was racing against the best sprinters in the world, guys that were picking up their game, and he had no choice but to take it to another level, right? That's why fighting the best matters, okay? That's why all these things matter, okay? Winning and losing, it matters. Capiche? So if you want to continue this diva way of doing things, like if you want to continue this path, let me tell you what's going to happen. If boxing keeps going this path, where champions are fighting champions, okay, where contenders are fighting contenders, where guys are scared to test themselves because they don't want to lose that O, and and all this shit. Well, first of all, it makes you wonder, why the fuck do we even have a sport then? Like, what good would tennis be if like the top tennis players never played each other? They just talked about being undefeated and nobody could beat me, but like they never played each other. Like, what good would that do? Nothing, right? Like would we know how good LeBron is if he never had to play against the Warriors every year? Like, will we really know? Will we just have to assume? No, he's good. He's good. Like what? This monster right here, did this fight? A lot of you dudes, okay, give me this bullshit that you don't care about this fight, and a lot of you guys are part of the reason this fucking monster of a fucking fight happened, right? You guys are the ones talking about how titles don't matter, and legitimate fights don't fucking matter, and fighting the best doesn't matter. It's just about whatever could sell. Okay, it's about money. It's a business. Remember that shit? A lot of you guys are responsible for this shit. You turned boxing into an event-driven sport. That's what you did. From a legitimate fucking sport to an event-driven sport. There's a difference. A lot of you guys did that. You contributed to that. Every time I told people, like when I was talking shit about Canelo versus Chavez Jr., what the fuck's with this fight? This fight's trash. No, but you're just hating. The fight's going to sell. It's going to sell over 1 million. Okay, it's a business. It's about making the most money and taking the less risk. Well, this fight is the epitome of that shit. You kidding me? That's a low-ass risk for a big-ass reward. Well, there you fucking go. Right? There you fucking go. There's your finished product. You guys help make this Frankenstein, and all of a sudden you're like all ridiculing the fight and shit. Nah, this fight's bullshit. it's a WWE event, and I kind of agree with that. But this idea, this notion, right, that you guys have always been the ones justifying fights if they could sell. You know, like you guys have always made that argument. By the way, I understand I'm being very vague here, right? But I am really targeting a lot of hypocritical boxing fans that I'm seeing out there right now, right? And there's a lot of them. A lot of dudes that talk about how it's about how big the events are and like all this shit. All of a sudden, you know, they're nowhere to be found. Anyway, I'm gonna do this thing again since I see this some new listeners here. So check it out. Check it out. This kind of tells you about this fight. Make sure you guys thumbs up the video. Shout out to Blood. What's up, Blood? We've got to do that WWE video at some point, Blood. Speaking of the WWE, maybe in the weekend or something. I'm available during the day, and let me know. We'll see. Wrestling sucks nowadays. I have a lot of things I want to say about wrestling. Anyway, a lot of great comments on here, guys. I can't go through all of them, but Man in Water says all the bullshit about exciting fighters is bullshit to discredit boxers like Mayweather. If these fans really cared about so-called exciting fighters, Salido, Miura, Vargas, Rios, Kirkland would all be superstars, right? And I'm talking about the styles here, okay? It's a lot of people that first come onto my channel and I'm talking about this fight and I'm talking about Mayweather beating his ass, right? Like they get this like false, perception that I'm a big Mayweather fan, like I'm the biggest Mayweather fan ever, and I'm not. I have a lot of criticisms about Floyd, a lot of criticisms, right? Believe me, I have a lot of criticisms about Floyd Mayweather, right? But at the end of the day, right? I could sit here and I'm comparing Floyd Mayweather to the guys he compared himself to. Floyd Mayweather wants to compare himself to Sugar Ray Robinson. That's a pretty, okay, let's talk about it then, right? Let's talk about you and Sugar Ray Robinson. Wants to compare himself to Muhammad Ali. All right, let's compare you with Muhammad Ali, right? He wants to say unfactual things, like I was an undisputed champion and like all this shit. Well, no, he wasn't. Right? So I have a lot of critical things to say about Floyd, right? He wants to say he's breaking the Rocky Marciano record. Nobody gives a fuck about the Rocky Marciano record at any weight other than heavyweight. It's always been a heavyweight record, right? Nobody was talking about it when Chavez went 50-0, okay? Like, nobody. So there's this idea that, get the fuck out of here, right? So I have a lot of criticisms about Mayweather. I really do. Right? So I'm just putting that out there. What I'm talking about is there's two different things. Okay, one, skill and how skills matter. Floyd's a very skilled fighter, right? And the other thing is, the fan base that always talks about big events and it's about the big events and it's about pay-per-view and we could sell. Okay, it's not about fighting the best. Those two fan bases are being the biggest fucking hypocrites right now. Okay? They're being the biggest fucking hypocrites. I'm just telling you. AJ10, people want Mayweather to fight like Mayorga. Let it Trinidad hit him clean. Imagine he did that shit. Man in Water, indeed. To me, Ward Kovalev was exciting because I was interested in seeing who was going to win, and that was a close fight. To me, Ward versus Kovalev was far more exciting when I saw it live, right? Like, you watch it today, we all know what happened, right? The first fight. We all know that he clipped Ward. Ward went down. Ward got back up. Right? We knew that. But the moment he dropped Ward, when that happened, the moment it happened, we don't know that fight was going to end that round. You know what the fuck's going to happen? That's what made it intriguing. That right there. And as the fight progressed, you just didn't know. Well, what if Kovalev lands another big shot like that? You know, of course, once the fight's over, you come Monday morning quarterback and be like, but he didn't land it, so he made it boring. Like, it's just, well, that's not the point. The point is, while you were watching it, you don't know what's going to happen next. And that adrenaline rush is right there. Like, you only get that when you watch a live fight, right? Anyway. Somebody says, Lou Radis says, I hope Floyd doesn't coach to UD. Well, I probably will. I don't know. Christopher Tom. Thank you, Style, for this. I've been arguing the same with Rigo haters. Like, that's another thing. Like, every time I want to see Rigondeaux fight another top fighter, it's always the same shit. It's always like boxing fans, like talking about the numbers and what he draws, and you know, it's like, how can the same person saying, how can someone say, oh, bullshit, Rigondeaux, nobody even shows up to watch him fight, right? And then be like, oh, fuck this Mayweather McGregor fight. Well, they're gonna break all fucking records. So according to you, if somebody shows up to see it, okay, you should be all for the fight then. Right? You can't have it both ways, guys. You can't have it both ways. It's one way or the other. Beast TX Mode 2000 said Mayweather did become boring as fuck. Christopher Tom Trinidad Mayorga was brutal. I remember that fight. Yeah, he landed like 8 punches. I don't know if it was 8 punches, but it was he beat the shit out of him. Who else dropped him out? De La Hoya. I mean, he fucking dropped Mayorga, man. In the first round, I think it was like in the first minute with a left hook. And Mayorga just looked up at him like, I don't think Mayorga thought De La Hoya was going to hurt him like that. Like, I don't think he knew he could hit like that. So when he went down, man, Mayorga just looked at him like, what the fuck? And the funniest part is that De La Hoya went to the corner, right? He just beat the shit out of Mayorga, all right? But if you notice, he didn't really use his jab. Floyd Mayweather Sr., like, he just, why aren't you using your jab? Use your jab, man. Why aren't you using your fucking jab? Use your fucking jab. Like, he was pissed off, man. I think they were working on the jab all camp. I fucking pissed him off that he wasn't using his jab. That shit was funny to me. Yeah, he almost knocked his head off, yeah. He fucking... if Beast Mode, if you're referring to the De La Hoya one, like, he caught him, boom! Like, he just fucking... But what I remember was the look. Like, De La Hoya looked at him. He gave him like a, what now, bitch? He gave him that look. You know? Like, I never seen De La Hoya, like, do that to someone. And Mayorga, he was in shock. Like, nobody told him De La Hoya had a left hook like that. Like, he was just, boom, he just went down like, whoa, what the fuck was that? And he stopped being a little too wild after that. Like, you know, because he came in so reckless at the first minute of that fight. And, I mean, Mayorga was never a tactician in there, but, you know, he did have boxing skill. I still don't know why they call him the fucking Matador, but it's kind of the opposite of that. But, yeah. All the shit Mayorga was talking to says the truth. Yeah, man. That dude, let me tell you something. I don't think Mayorga really ever meant a lot of the stuff he said, but he would say some fucked up shit. Like, now, I'm going to defend Mayorga a little bit here, okay? I really am. But he got accused of talking about dudes' wives a lot. He did, and their mothers. But keep in mind, Mayorga mentioned the wife and the mothers, but he never talked shit about them. Okay, he didn't say anything about doing something to the wives or being with the wives or how ugly the wives are or whatever. He never said anything about them. Not to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that, but to my knowledge, I don't think he ever said it. But from anything I ever heard, it was always, and can you say this crossing the line? Well, he would say things like, your own mother isn't going to recognize your face after the fight. Like, he would say stuff like that, right? I think he said to De La Hoya, make sure your wife fucks you the morning of the fight so you don't fucking throw yourself, like you did in the Bernard Hopkins fight, you fucking faggot. That's practically what he said. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that's some brutal shit, by the way. It's like, you don't really get dudes talk shit like that in English, man. Like, you just don't. Mayorga would say some crazy shit, but it was always about, I'm going to give you a face even your mother won't love, or like stuff like that. He never attacked the wives. And now, if you want to say, hey, well, he still brought up family that's crossing the line, I agree. But he did what he did, man. I can't change history. I can't change the things he said. I could just present them to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Didn't he call De La Hoya disgrace to Latinos? Yeah, he said something like, even the Mexicans are going for me, like just something like that. De La Hoya was never a trash talker, man. He brought it weak with trash talk. Like, I remember he said to after Mayorga told him all this shit, right? Now I could take back one thing. I think I do believe, I never heard him say it, but they said he said it. So I don't know if somebody could find me a clip of this. But supposedly he insinuated or just flat out said that De La Hoya's son was gay, right? That he's being around De La Hoya is making him gay. Now, maybe he was just trash talking. I don't know if that's true. I ain't gonna go there, but but I don't know if he ever really said that. Yeah. Los mexicanos están conmigo, maricón. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I remember that. Hasta tu propia gente. Like, this is fucking hilarious, man. That guy. I remember De La Hoya, man. After he told him all this shit, like, man, I'm gonna disfigure your face, and you're a faggot, and you're this and you're that, right? I'm only quoting De La Hoya, right? I'm only quoting Mayorga, but fucking De La Hoya goes up to the podium and he's like, "Mira, dos cosas," something like that. Hablaste de mi esposa y hablaste de mi raza. Con eso no se juega. Te voy a noquear. Like, I don't know, man. You just brought it away. Like, come on, bro. You should. Like, you brought up my wife and my people. I'm gonna knock you out. Like, it just sounded like so like forced. It honestly did. But yeah. I actually, earlier while I was working, I actually watched a clip of Greg Hogan and Chavez, right? Oh man, that show was great. I mean, I just remember Chavez, like, Hogan. Oh, I'm gonna knock his head off, his shoulders and shit. Like, he went all out. Okay, they said show no compassion to Greg Hogan. Fuck Greg Hogan. Like, he was just going in on that dude. And Greg Hogan just brought it weak, man. That dude wasn't much of a trash talker. But I still remember when he was telling everybody Chavez fought only a bunch of cab drivers. I just fought a bunch of fucking cab drivers. He hasn't fought anybody and like all this shit. And after he got his ass whooped, I guess they asked him about it, and he said, well, I guess those were some tough-ass taxi drivers. Somebody said Oscar made a son gay. No, I didn't say that. All right. Beast Texas Mo, did they have HBO's Face Off when they fought Mosley? Must have been boring as fuck. You know, for some reason, Mayorga never talked shit to Mosley. I don't know what it was. He just wouldn't talk shit to him. I think he liked Mosley. You know, like not like that. You know, I just think that he respected him or something. But I really don't know. Like he wasn't gonna do that shit with Mosley. This whole like hit me in the chin. You know. Man Water says all she can't talk to save his life. Yeah, he was never that dude, man. Trash talking was never Deloy's forte. Like I still remember he told Mayweather, like, I'm gonna make it a rough and tough fight. Like, shut up, bro. Like, just go sit down. On May 5th, when I hit you, you're gonna feel it. Like, it's just what does talk have to do? We moved on. That's what it has to do. Non-gay taxi drivers are the best. Anyway, I'm about to wrap it up in a little bit. So if you guys have anything to add, etc., let me know. Pacquiao can't talk trash either. Just doing my job. Hey, Pacquiao, you think he you think you're gonna win this fight? Yeah. The truth, laughing my ass off. That was funny. I'm gonna make it a rough and tough fight. But just like the way he was saying it too, it's just like, get the fuck out of here. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up now. All right. Decided to stay with you guys a little longer there, but I'm gonna wrap this up. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna read this thing one more time for those that came in later, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Somebody made a request. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. I don't want my channel flagged, man. So I don't. I'm just saying. I have no reason to anyway, you know. Here it goes, guys. Shout out to Man in Water. The Cotto Mayorga press conference was hilarious. Yeah, it was. Eres un payaso. Eres un payaso. Like I never in my life have I seen like Cotto lose his cool with anybody. He lost his cool with Mayorga. He was so irritated with the guy. He was tired of him. Like, he was just, like I never seen him lose his cool. He just sounded like an angry uncle, like telling his nephew to shut the fuck up. Somebody can't believe they beat Vernon Forrest. Well, believe it. Somebody actually used that fight to me. They said, if Mayorga could beat Vernon Forrest, then McGregor could beat Floyd. Like, okay. All right, guys, I'm going to read this thing one more time for those that came in late. And then we'll wrap it up, okay? All right, let's see here. Make sure you thumbs up the video. I've been doing a specific video, which is this. I'm working on it a little bit. I did some edits while we were talking here, this whole boxing thing, but here we go. For those of you like, well, what about Conor Floyd? I came here, that's what the title said, and you're talking about fucking Mayorga. Like, okay, it's all good, guys. Relax, okay? You guys hear that fucking thunder, though? Holy shit. I actually have a battery that connected to my internet that will, even if I lose power in my house, I'll still have like internet for a good 3 hours. So we're still here regardless, but I'm not going to be here for 3 hours. 5 more minutes, I'm out, but I'm just saying. ¿Qué? ¿No quieres pelear o qué? ¿No quieres pelear o qué? ¿Eh? ¿No quieres pelear? ¿Qué quieres decir? ¿Qué quieres decir? You guys see that shit where like Margarito was like on his hand wrap? There was a fucking crack. I never seen something like that, man. There was a crack on that dude's hand wraps. A fucking crack, man. Those dudes fucking, those wraps are fucking loaded, man. Like, I honestly believe that. There's only supposed to be gauze right there. I remember Kodo, like, you're only supposed to have gauze. Gauze only. Gauze don't break. Gauze don't break. This is hilarious. No hay nada, no hay nada. Yo no veo nada. ¿No quieres pelear o qué? ¿No quieres pelear? ¿No quieres pelear? Aquí viene el criminal. Aquí llegó el criminal. Like, Margarito embraced the villain. Like, he looked like one of those fucking narcos, man. Like Margarito did. For the build-up of that fight. Rojo. Oh, bro. The truth. I remember that shit. Lo roto, aquí lo roto, lo rojo, te estás dando lo rojo, lo rojo, lo roto, lo roto, lo roto, lo roto, lo rojo no, lo rojo, tú estás hablando de rojo, pues lo rojo es de los, lo roto, lo roto. Miguel Cotto, man, started rolling those R's, bro, like fucking, lo roto. And I remember when Margarito was like, "I'll give my life to this sport. I'll die in the ring." Like Miguel Cotto starts laughing. He's like, "I mean, die? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna die in the ring. Like, die? Like, just abandon my kids and my wife? Like, for what? Like, for a fight? Like, what?" Margaret just stood there, like, with a smug look, like, get the fuck out of here. Should let him get back up in that Mosey fight, then he would have really died. Yeah, Max was making a big deal about it. Like, dude, like, let's move on, bro. Like, Margarito will die in the ring. Okay, good for him. Like, let him fucking die. Like, I don't give a shit. It's stupid. It's a stupid. I can't do the Puerto Rican accent. I just can't. But it's just stupid. You know, it's just, you know, I can't do it. All right, guys. You guys keep distracting me with all this shit, man. But thanks for joining me live, guys. Thanks for joining me live. It's all good. It's all good. It's unbelievable, man. The shit you forget, and people say like one thing, and it's just like, holy shit, I remember that. Remember, like Cotto busted out with the iPad, just brought a dude he had an iPad and a fucking face off. Like what the fuck? Oh look, and he just brings out the iPad. It was just like the most random. Like, here you go, the power of the iPad, bitch. Anyway, thumbs it up, guys. Thumbs it up. Mario can take a beating. Yeah, he can. You gotta give him that. Get the iPad. Oh, somebody handed it to him, right? Like he asked for it. He stayed sitting in the same position, but just like turned his head and his arm. It was funny. So vamos a pelear o no? ¿No quieres pelear o qué? No, yo afirmé la pelea, pero no quieres pelear, ¿no quieres pelear o qué? ¿No quieres pelear? Oh, the best part was when Margarito would say like Hamas. I never seen somebody say the word Hamas for that long. Like I mean, Hamas. It's like, damn, bro. Like that means never, by the way. Never. When he's told, Carlos, I'm going to punish you in a fight. Hamas. Like, what's with the, like, why was he talking that slow, man? Like, he picked up that whole slow talk, like in that, you know, he was talking like fucking Pablo Escobar didn't talk like that, but I'm trying to think, man. Like, it just sounded like a fucking narco, man. Like, it's like, goddamn. Hamas. He was talking like a fucking villain in a novella. Okay, fucking Margarito, right? They were fucking loaded, man. I never seen anything cracked like that. Those raps are cracked, bro. They were fucking cracked. There was a crack in the fucking like in lo rojo no, lo roto. Okay? And people wonder why white girls and a lot of women like Latinos. Like I'm just saying, okay? And I'm just saying. Anyway, let's move on here. Plaster was exposed to Plasterito. Is Margarito's trainer still banned? I remember they banned that dude, man. I remember he was saying it was his fault, not Margarito's fault, and then Margarito was defending him, saying, "Oh, there was no loaded glove." Like they couldn't get their fucking story straight. No, not Beast Mode. You're getting it wrong, bro. Like you're getting it wrong. What does a cast fuck up your hand, bro? People wear casts, bro, right? And you hit somebody with a fucking cast, dude. Like that does some damage. Now it's not to that level, but there was particles found in his wrapping that basically I forgot the term for it, man. Like they use it in construction a lot too. I forgot the term. Well, what was this? What was the substance? I forgot the name of it, but I don't know. I forgot I just forgot, man. Plaster of Paris. There we go. Kenar. Yeah, like that shit shouldn't be on fucking hand wraps, bro. Like that should not be on fucking hand wraps. So that was just Now they caught on the Mosey fight, and the only reason they caught it, by the way, like you have to understand, man, you gotta wet that shit. I don't know if you guys have ever wrapped your hands and just put on a boxing glove. It's fucking hot. You know what I mean? And then you start punching, like you get in a fucking fight. Okay, it starts making your fucking. It starts forming like a fucking cast, like in the fucking fight. And fucking the glove ain't gonna protect much of that shit. That's some dangerous shit, man. Like that is some serious shit right there. Like I'm just saying. And I guess some will say, well, you'll never be able to prove it, right? Well, all I know, man, is that I saw that picture and I never, like, that shit was fucking cracked. And if somebody could explain to me why it's fucking cracked like that, wrapping, then by all means explain it to me. Because that makes no fucking sense to me, right? Yeah, like you guys gotta understand. Margarito actually was hitting Cotto in that fight. He was hitting Cotto in the rematch. Cotto's face got nowhere near like that. Shut up, you fucking cat. You guys hear that fucking cat? Like he's trying to take over my fucking video. Are you trying to take over or what? Are you gonna take over the show? Shut your ass. Shut up. Anyway, the fuck out of here, right? I ain't raised no pussy cat, right? Well, I kind of did, but like, get the fuck out of here. There's a fucking thunderstorm. We ain't trying to take over the show. Shut up. What the fuck? Like, that's a thunderstorm. Like, it's get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Anyway, guys, that shit was so like out of nowhere. I'm going to read this shit one more time, and I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, okay? It's been great. It's been great. It's been fun. Let's talk boxing. We're talking boxing, right? We've been talking a lot of boxing, right? But I'm gonna read this shit, and then I'm off. Yeah, he beat Maravilla, bro, but he had a one leg, bro. It was a one-legged dude. I mean, come on. All right. I didn't ask for this fight. I simply just exist in the eye of the hurricane that is this event, just like everybody else. Those who admit it and those who don't. I just choose to accept the reality of its existence. A major portion of the human population believe that Conor McGregor can win this fight. They believe it. They believe it religiously. They say he can envision the outcome of a fight before it happens and turns it into reality. They say it's self-belief and that it's powerful. They say it's nothing like we've seen before. They say we don't understand. They speak of magic. They speak of the impossible. They speak of miracles. You can't doubt a man like that, they say. He's been here before, they say. They just believe he's going to do it because he said it, because destiny has written it. They want to question the sweet science, an art form that has conducted millions of scientific experiments. They want to bring that into question. I don't believe that religion and science mix. They have their hypothesis. They have their belief. August 26th, we will test that belief against empirical evidence. I don't want belief. I don't want millions of bodies walking around aimlessly believing in fairy tales. Either they're delusional or we're fools that have been playing pretend for over a century. And there we go. Right? That's the style, it's giving you guys a good night story. There you go. Okay? I'm not going to sing you a lullaby, though. That ain't going to happen. Okay? So this is DStyleBoxing. I want to thank you guys, using the chat to talk boxing and all that. It was great talking about Mayorga and Cotto and Margarito and how we trailed off to that from Mayweather. I don't know. It's a fascinating thing, man. It's great. And that's why I like doing these chats. Okay. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And there you go. I'm out.